In this lesson, we'll be borrowing from our other text animations. Okay, so what we want to do in this lesson is grab some text animations from our 12_end Cinema 4D project file. So I have this also open, and I can just switch over to this other project just by going to Window and going down to where all those other projects are open. And I want to grab that scale animation. So let's just go in, select any one of those. We'll grab those keys and then just come over, right click, choose copy. And then we'll go back over to our 17_begin project file and we'll drop them on our number 54 when we want that to pop on. So probably right about here would be a good place for that. So I'll just select this 54%. We're on frame 11, that's where I want it to come in. So I'll right click and choose paste. And I may need to select the keys and pull them back a bit. So you can see what that's going to do. So if I get in here a little bit closer, and I don't have anything selected, you can see how that's going to pop open and then settle there for me. Let's do the same thing for 43%. So we'll just pull back and say right about here's where we want that to come on. So we'll come up and select our 43% extrusion. Right click, hit paste. And again, we'll move those keys back just a frame. And then that's going to pop on as well. Great. Okay, so let's also borrow from our other bits, our swing down animation. We're also going to want to put that either swing down animation or the scale animation for those. And since we have our axis right in the middle, let's go ahead and do our scale animation. So I'll just have those kind of happen after the graph is revealed. So right about there. So we'll come into our 2% text right there. Right click, go ahead and paste that. So that's going to start to come on right about there. And let's stagger those a few more frames. So I'm going to be on frame 66, and then we'll do it to our 1%. So right click, paste, and we'll pull those back into position. There we go. And then right about as that 1% is finishing up, we may want to, actually we may want to do it a little bit earlier than that for these bits of text here. So let's say right in here on frame 40 is where we want these to come in. And these are actually a little bit close to the graph. So I'm just going to select those and we'll push those over to the right a little bit so they're not quite so close to that edge. And let's start with whales since it's at the top. Just with that selected, we'll go back over to our 12_end and just grab any one of those. 1989 is the first one. So with that selected, you can see those keys, and I'll just select them all. Right click, copy, go back over to 17_begin, and on frame 40, we'll right click and hit paste. And then we'll probably need to go forward a couple of frames. So on 42, and we'll do the same thing for fish, birds, and mollusks. So might change the order of these just to kind of help that. So whales, fish, birds, and mollusks. Okay, so fish we'll do next. Right click, paste. May need to again pull that over a bit. And this one I think is probably going to need more than 90 frames. So again, let's change that to about 120. So we have a little bit more room to work with. We'll go forward a couple of frames just so we're incorporating that stagger. Right click, paste. And Then we'll do it for our last one. Right click, paste. Perfect. Okay, so let's scrub through and see how this looks. Great. Okay, so that's working really nicely to bring on all of our pieces of text. I still need to figure out how we want to bring on these lines that are kind of drawing to the parts of the graph that those smaller percents signify. So that is created with a sweep animation, or you can see this sweep object here. So we'll be just animating the same way we did when we brought on the line graph. So let's come in to our next lesson, and we'll go ahead and animate those and also add display tags to these 4 pieces so that they, again, don't have that strange, just kind of sideways look. So we'll come back in the next lesson, add display tags, and key the sweep to bring those pieces on.